Hey, this is Marvin at First Presbyterian Church in Columbia, Missouri, and the Spirit of Summer word for Wednesday, August 18th is beach. Like I said yesterday, we've just gotten back from 2 weeks at the beach visiting relatives, and even here in the Midwest, people love to go to the beach, even if it means making a long car trip or getting on a plane and flying somewhere, because the beach is just a unique place, and it's wonderful to visit in the summertime. It's great to jump into the ocean water and cool off. And what I really like about the beach is the different flora and fauna. Seagulls, pelicans, all the fish that are swarming around in the water, the dune grasses and marsh grasses that grow. And I like to look at the sea, at the ocean water, and how it changes throughout the day as the sun passes through the sky, or as clouds obscure the sun, or as the wind gets up or calms down, how the sea can look very different from 1 hour to the next. It's really interesting to me. Of course, the beach can be a dangerous place as well. If you're in New England during nor'easter spinning up, or if you're along the Gulf Coast when a hurricane is bearing down, the beach is the last place that you want to be. You want to get inland and get someplace safer. And I think it's in that sense that we can make sense of uh, a pretty famous passage of scripture from the book of Revelation. It's in chapter 21, verse 1. I'll just read it to you here. It says, "Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and the sea was no more." Now, more than one person has commented to me that they're not really looking forward to the world to come if there's no sea, no ocean, and no beach in the world to come. And they kind of puzzled about that. Well, I think the solution to this kind of puzzle is to know that for ancient writers and for biblical writers, the sea, the ocean, was a powerful symbol of chaos, situations where order has completely fallen apart and where confusion reigns. Scenes like, for instance, the scenes that we've been seeing from Haiti, where the people of a desperately poor country have suffered from an earthquake and from a tropical storm all in the same week, or the scenes that we've seen from the Kabul airport as people are desperate to get out of the country now that the Taliban have taken over. Um, it's in this sense of the word that, in the symbolic sense, that John sees a world to come where the sea will be no more. He sees a world to come where there will be no experiences or moments of extreme disorder and confusion and the fear and pain and suffering that go along with it. And this vision that John has is supported and actually made possible through his faith in Jesus Christ, whom God has raised from the dead. And so, as we look at the evening news, or as we scroll through our timeline on our social media feeds, and we see so much bad news, we are moved as Christians to pray for these situations of chaos and disorder, to respond with gifts of generosity to aid organizations. And if you'd like to know especially about how to aid people in Haiti, just send me an email, marvinl@fpccolumbia.org, and I will send you a link to a place that you can give to Presbyterian relief efforts in Haiti. Uh, and these situations move us to sadness, but not to despair, because we know that the last chapter in human history has yet to be written, and the last chapter is going to be written by God, who raised Jesus Christ from the dead, and who is going to raise the world to new and everlasting life, and a kind of life where death and suffering and crying and pain will be no more. So maybe in the world to come, there will still be a beach and an ocean and a sea, maybe even with some waves big enough for people to surf on if you're into that sort of thing. Uh, but for the people who dwell beyond the sand dunes, and for the people who dwell inland, there won't be the fighting and the disorder that is so characteristic of the way human beings get along now. We will be raised to a new and everlasting life through faith in Jesus Christ. And we're already getting ready for that life with acts of justice and generosity in the present day. So thanks for tuning in today. And again, if this has been helpful to you, I would encourage you to share it with your friends and contacts on your social media networks. Take care and tune in for another Spirit of Summer update tomorrow. Goodbye.